Hello everyone, it's Wednesday, and yesterday I had the honor and privilege of channeling with Stephanie again, and we got to talk with three goddesses this time, Gaia, Lilith, and Hecate. And the first topic I wanted to cover was this awkward phase that we're in, where we know the shift is coming, or it's around the corner, imminent, and yet we're still walking through our daily life, going through the 3D process, planning vacations, planning holidays. It all feels kind of funny and like weird to put all our eggs in one basket and pretend like we can't just stop living now. We have to continue living, but also acknowledge that everything is about to change. And it's such an awkward set of truths to hold, like a hopium phase that we're in. This is what Gaia said about this awkward hopium phase that we are holding right now. She said, be in the moment. Enjoy the little things in your daily life. She compared this stage and this holding position to our awkward teenage years. We couldn't wait to get through those. She acknowledges that this part is painful, messy, and crazy, but she's really emphasizing to be in the present moment. That is where you'll find your joy. In the now moment is where everything is happening and falling into place. We are our most powerful in the now moment. By staying present focused, the time and anticipation goes away faster, and you can feel into the hope and excitement and joy of what's to come. Hold and bring that joy and excitement of what you think is in the future and bring it into the now. Be open and flow with the shifts, because nature isn't in order. Nature does exactly what it wants. Let down your structured expectations and flow and shift with her. Everyone will be shifting together with her, no matter where they're at in their lives. It's going to be more painful for some who aren't listening to their team and higher selves, who are showing them physically in their lives right now what they need to change. So ready or not, it's going to change. Okay, and then I asked a question that someone asked on here, the last video, and it said, how do I know if I'm part of the shift? And Lilith answered for that one, and she said, if you have to ask yourself that, she kind of gave a little bit of tough love, then it means you are not tuning in with yourself. And she recommended starting a practice of doing that daily, of at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, of sitting in silence with no distractions and tuning in, meditating. It really does help. And she said, once you've done that, sit by yourself with no distractions and says, ask yourself, am I shifting in the right direction for my highest and greatest good? Something may come up that you feel you need to work on, and that is your internal answer to what needs to shift. You need to know yourself. If things are rearing up at you, that is the stuff that's telling you to move away from. It is natural to have things vibrate out of your life at this moment. Trust yourself. Trust that you are going through this shift. The shift isn't asking for perfect humans. However, those that aren't treating their bodies with love, over-consuming alcohol, drugs, processed foods, etc., are disconnected from themselves. This may cause the person to experience struggle while shifting, but everyone will shift in their own way. Your body is going to tell you, as well as your environment, that if you are out of alignment, it is going to make you uncomfortable so that you either change or you become stuck in this cycle of suffering and struggle. You don't have to change in order to be considered worthy for this shift. However, the more you take care of yourself, the better and easier the shift will be for you. It is going to be uncomfortable for those who need to go through a detox process. You'll be forced to go through a purging rather than an integration of the new energies. And then Gaia stepped in, and she said, taking care of your body and yourself is working with me. Working against me is hurting yourself. I'm purging now too, so join me. If you are aware of the shift, you are part of the shift. You are calling it into your reality. This is a choice of free will. And then I asked, what about our friends and family? Because many of us have those who would be considered not awakened and may think that we're crazy for saying a lot of this stuff. And she said, Lilith said, okay, This isn't about purity or a test of worthiness. Awakened unity consciousness focus is the goal, and those holding those frequencies do act as magnets to the 5D timelines, pulling in family and friends, physical distance not being a factor. The shift may not be as profound for all at first. It may be more gradual for the unawakened. At the moment of crescendo, it will be like a light switch coming on for humanity's consciousness. This allows for a gentle evolution for people to acclimate to this. The old ways of operating will crumble, while new systems and ways of organizing society will start to be built. The last topic I asked about was, our news is currently circulating the idea that the Epstein files might be released. And many of us out here already know the kind of things are going to be found out in that. And their message was, even those of us who think we know are still going to be shocked. It's going to be hard not to be shocked. And there are those that have no idea what to expect in there and still think their politicians are respectable humans are going to be devastated. And it's more important than ever to hold compassion for those people, awakened or not. And Lilith said, as things shift and structures fall, more truths will come out that will shock and appall the collective. She wants to remind us that this is part of the change that needs to happen. The uncovering of the organized, seedy underbelly of this world. The surfacing is part of the cleanup. None of this is new. We're just becoming aware of it. And she wanted to emphasize that, those of us who are still looking at things like the answer is either to be Republican or Democrat, there's one good side and one bad side, are very limited in how they're viewing this. The scope is extremely limited, and that it's two sides, two wings of the same bird, and that it's not even just American politics. This is global. Hecate came in for the final message about this, because she said, this is embracing our shadow. We must embrace our shadow and integrate it in order to heal. Welcome to the dark side of what the patriarchy has manifested. I'm not trying to set separate sides between patriarchy and matriarchy. That in itself is division too. We are here for unity. The dark forces are crumbling, and as we've told the public before, it is going to get ugly and disturbing. This is when it's crucial to hold joy for others who are still stuck in fear of the illusion. They don't believe there is hope for change. It is changing. Holding that hope and joy is how we will get through these revelations. To the awakened ones who are doing work, and thank you for holding the light for those newly awakened into the fear loop in their ascension path. They may not be able to see past the fear now, but they will. Thank you for holding the light for your brothers and sisters. And then Gaia stepped in to say, this is my dark night of the soul. It's more important than ever to anchor joy, live a joyful life. Even though many of us are waiting for this big pop, this shift, we must live in the moment, be here in the now. And the final message was from Hecate, more about shadow. I asked her what's her advice for embracing the shadow and doing shadow work in general. She says, embrace your shadow, look at it, not from fear of rejection, but from compassion. Consider your shadow like a friend who fell down and scraped their knee. Pick them up and hold them. Hold your shadows, integrate them, forgive and be forgiven, release and be in the now. Thank you so much for listening to this message. If you liked it, please like and share. And just remember, we're doing this, anchor in the light, anchor in authenticity. We're in the middle of it all, and I'm here with you.